مرحبا. أهلا وسهلا فيكم. Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we're featuring something very delicious and it's spinach pies. It calls for limited ingredients, so let's get started. Okay, so as I said, limited ingredients are needed. You'll need olive oil, about 8 ounces of spinach. You can use frozen. If you do decide to use the frozen, just make sure you squeeze the juice out of it, or you can use the fresh. About a cup of diced white onion, 2 to 3 tablespoons of fresh squeezed lemon, but lemon is to taste. So if you like it a little bit more lemony, your spinach filling, then you want to add a little bit more lemon juice. Your olive oil is to taste, salt and pepper to taste, then flour and dough. This is just one package of pizza dough that I got from our corner grocery store. You can make your own dough. This is one package, so it's about a pound. And then we'll roll out the dough and make our spinach pies. Okay, rolling out the dough is not as difficult as it may sound. Now what I started out is I put some flour on my counter and just the dough as is, right on the counter. Then you're going to cover the dough with some flour. And then just with your hands kind of knead it out to keep it, try to keep it round, flip it. And you're just going to press it with your fingers and your hands and your palms just to kind of keep it round, like I said. And keep it with a lot of, or use a lot of flour so that way it doesn't stick. And then just turn it and you flatten it. You want to get it to a point where you can start using your rolling pin. There. Now, I have 2 kinds of rolling pins. I have your traditional rolling pin that you can use, and this you're just going to keep going all the way around, and ever so often you'll stop. You'll do away with a little bit of the flour, flip it over, and you'll just keep doing at it until it's pretty thin. Now the other rolling pin that I like to use is just a stick, very traditional in our homeland, and actually this is my mother's stick. So she would flip it over and she would roll out her dough this way. And I'd flip it over to the other side. And then just keep going at it from corner to corner to corner. And if I just keep rolling, it'll start to get very big. We want it as large and round as possible and thin, so we can cut out our pies. Now, if you say pies, you're thinking an actual whole pie. We do them individually. And just roll them as is. So it doesn't take that long to do. Could be a little time consuming. Spinach pies can also be baked or prepared weeks, even a month in advance, and thrown into the freezer. Great if you're having parties, get together, or everybody's just hanging around the house and looking for a snack. And there you go. Flat. So now that we rolled out our dough, we're ready to cut it into little small pie pieces. Now you'll need a knife, so any knife will do, and you'll need to improvise just to be able to use something to be able to cut something in circle or cut your dough in circle. I'm going to use the yellow bowl today. You can also use this, and it depends on the size that you want. So if you want a little larger, use a larger plate. You want a little bit smaller or even smaller, use the plate that you have. So what I'll do is I'll do this, and you just go around with your knife, and it cuts your dough all the way around your whole dough piece. And you'll do this pretty much all around your dough and cutting your pieces. Okay, so I've cut out my first set, and what I'll do is I'll carefully take them and transport them to a lightly floured surface. It could be your counter, it could be just another platter or plate. But you want to make sure it's floured so that way they don't stick. I'll do that. Through. Now we don't waste anything in this household, so I am going to show you a trick with all this extra dough that we have to get as many pies as we can. I'll take a piece and I'll kind of just paste it to there, and I'll take another piece and I'll paste it to a piece on the other end, enough to be able to cut another circle or another pie, because the more pies we have, the more we can eat. And the same thing going around. And then you can take the scraps that we have and then just roll them up into a circle or into a ball. And flatten it back out and roll it back out. And you can probably get yourself another 2 or 3 pies. So I'll take all these, put them together, give it a little flour, kind of roll them up together into a little ball. Now that's going to be a little harder to work because it's already been worked and used. Or if you have little kids, you can give them that little piece and they can play with it. It's just dough. Pretend to make their own spinach pies. Give it a little lightly flour so it doesn't stick. It does look silly, but it's an added spinach pie that works for our family. Nothing goes to waste. It's a little bit stickier because, like I said, you've already worked it, but it's still doable. Now you want to cover your dough with a piece of clean towel, kitchen towel, and now we'll get our spinach filling together. You start off by putting your spinach in a very big bowl so that way you can carry your the amount that you want to put in. Now, if you see the stems are a bit large, go ahead and take it off. I don't bother with the stems because they do dwindle down and it's good. But if you do see it's like very large, very thick, just remove it and discard it. And if you have a large leaf, it's fine to just break them up. And if you want to break them up and chop it up, that's your choice. I usually leave it as is. So I've diced some onion. It's a white onion. It's about a cup. So I'll add that. Now I said the salt and pepper is to taste. So what I'll do is I'll just grab probably about, I don't know, about 2 teaspoons of it, maybe 3. Dash of pepper. So it's just a taste and you will taste it later. Fresh squeezed lemon juice. You're going to do 2 to 3 of these. I'm going to go ahead with all 3 because I like that little lemony tart taste. A little bit more, doesn't hurt. And we'll do some olive oil. Olive oil is about 1.5 tablespoons. So that's 1 and there's half. Put all that in. And I'm all about the hands, and I'll just toss all that together Your spinach leaves are going to get rather soft, and this big bowl will end up being a small amount. Toss it all together. So it's basically like a spinach and onion salad. When we were kids and my mother would make this, we would all run for little bowls, and she'd give us a little handful in our bowls before she rolled her or made her or spinach pies, and we would taste it or eat it as our little salad. So once you've done and tossed everything together, you can grab a piece and just taste it to see, do you need more lemon juice? This one's perfect, but feel free to lessen the amount that I just put in. Go ahead and taste and re-add what you need. All right, we are ready to make our spinach pies. A sheet, any sheet pan sheet, or if you don't have these, again, you can use your casserole dishes. Anything that can go into an oven will work. I drizzled olive oil on there, and then we can start making our spinach pies. Grab my first, and I'll just play with it a little bit just to make it a little bit larger. I will grab a good amount of my spinach to put right in the center. Now, for those who are just starting to do this, go ahead and chop up your spinach to make it a little easier on your end. I do a paper towel just to kind of wipe from the juice on there. And then you're going to bring one end to the other. You're going to press your dough to here, and you're going to make a triangle. Then one corner to the other. Press your dough, and then you're going to go to the other end and press your dough. You might have to go over a couple of times just to kind of get it. You're going to pick it up this way and put it into your pan. We'll do one more, flipped over, kind of like flatten it out a little bit. Grab a good heaping, put it right in the center. Wipe the juice off my fingers so that way the dough doesn't get sticky. And then you want to press corner to corner. Bring it up on the other end, corner to corner. And I've been doing these for a long time, and trust me, they don't always come out perfect. They don't always come out looking the same, but they taste delicious. You can ask anybody in my family. So I'll flatten it out just a little bit. Make sure it's not stuck. Give it a good heaping. And I bring corner to corner. Corner to corner. Lift it and we'll do one more up and close. And like I said, I've been doing this for so long, but when I first started to make them, it wasn't as easy. Then my hands would get all wet and I couldn't close the dough, or spinach doesn't want to cooperate and wants to go everywhere. Just be patient and it will work. And just keep trying. It's going to taste the same no matter what they look like, but eventually they will become triangles. Or you can make them squares, or you can make them moon shape, whatever works for you. So I put them in the pan, and I do leave an opening in the spinach pies. It's so that the inside of it can breathe, and the inside cooks, and it just goes all around. So just give it some air. If you do close them all the way, it could be the inside's just going to get a bit soggy. So that's why I leave a little opening. I've preheated my oven to 375. The dough ball that we had and the amount of spinach that we had made 14 spinach pies. So I will put it on the bottom rack for about 30, possibly 35 minutes, depending on your oven. Check it after 25 minutes because, again, depending on your oven, you want the bottom to be golden brown, and then I'll move it up to the top rack for about 5 minutes to golden brown the top part as well. Okay, so they are completed, the finished product. I'll just plate it, and they should just come right up onto a plate. And be careful, they're hot, but I'm going to open one up for you so you can see the inside.